And that's what academics was trying to tell you. It's broader than that, right? It's the disrespect.
Hype me up, I've been down too long. Now I'm back and I'm feeling too strong. No cap reactions, yeah, the whole crew on. When I drop, everybody sing along. Baby up, baby up.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to NoCap Reactions, the realest place on YouTube for unfiltered, raw, straight up, honest reactions. No gimmicks, no bluff, and definitely no cap. Stop the cap. You feel? We got Albert and Preach about to snap on Sneako. You feel me? I'm motherfucking here for it. I hate that motherfucker. If you like the channel, man, like and subscribe. Hit that bell. Hype it up, y'all. I appreciate everybody joining me today. Let's get into it.
Chud's been arrested for attempted murder. Nobody's surprised because everyone thought he was on a crash course, including Chud himself, who said he was going to, kill a chimp or something like that. If you aren't aware, he runs up to people, basically says the N-word a bunch of times and holds his weapon and then uses self-defense to go after anybody who attacks him after the fact. And so there's been a huge debate in regards to free speech advocacy, the fact that he should have the right to be able to do this without being attacked. And then, people are finding out that based off the laws, that may not be entirely true.
I said black people. Nigga has been repurposed. It was a word to mean slave, and now it means
Sneako, you're being obtuse. He's trying to treat black people as subhuman by how he's speaking to them. Is he like, oh, what up, my nigga? Is that what he's saying? Or is he actually saying that, hey, you're a lesser human being, and I'm using this word to remind you of that?
You could only allow this word to have that power if you agree to that frame. We should repurpose this word so that we can't be controlled by them anymore to build a career based off of antagonizing people.
I think he should go antagonize Muslims. Word up. Facts. Leave black people alone. Go fuck with the Muslims.
Do you want peace or not?
No, I want to see what the Muslims gonna do. Because I think when Muslims get antagonized, would that be amusing to you?
I'm saying he should.
No, would it be amusing? Because you said it was amusing when he was talking to the blacks.
I said he shouldn't antagonize people that are.
All right, I know you said that, but you said it was amusing.
Like, how is that shit funny though? That shit is not funny. You want to sit here, man?
And you said it was funny. Would that be funny? Okay, so if he goes to the place where people are praying and they're bowing down on the mat, and he says, "What are those? They're chimping out." That's funny. That would be pretty funny, right?
There's a difference between like worship and then being in public.
Whoa, Sneako, what you mean?
I don't think that's funny.
You don't think it's funny. The same way that black people don't think it's funny.
Yeah.
When it comes to black people finding offense of things that they feel is offensive, you're like, well, why don't y'all just stop being offended by the word? However, if I then showcase a situation where another group of people, where someone tries to disrespect them, you can't repurpose the disrespect. You want black people to repurpose the disrespect.
Great. There's a great analogy here. Do you see how you're equating this individual word that doesn't have real meaning unless you to the holy?
Every word has meaning, brother. Okay, if you say a word has no meaning, say no.
Oh, is that what you're saying?
No, I'm asking you. I'm asking you to say it because it should have no meaning, right? There's a fucking meaning to it, right? Clearly, like you wouldn't say that, right? Because there's an intended meaning if you're saying.
Not see the point that you're making. How are you equating?
Words have meaning, brother.
How are you equating God? Disrespecting God, the Almighty.
That's a dodge too.
It's your God.
No,
It's not everybody's God.
And it doesn't even matter.
Yes,
it doesn't matter because he's not talking about the fact that, he's not comparing God to whatever. What he's saying is that this word has meaning. If the word has no meaning unless you attribute it to meaning to it, then it shouldn't matter if you say it to God because it has no meaning. Clearly it has meaning.
To something that only has meaning if we attribute meaning to it. God has meaning without us.
So
this part, our word.
You can't disrespect God, but you can disrespect a whole group of people.
That you give to it,
brother. You're saying so. What you just told me, you can't disrespect God. Okay, get it, and I agree. But you can disrespect an entire group of people, and your solution to that is that the entire group of people should just not be offended.
This is the creator of the universe.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you know what? That's a moment where you just got to sit with the point and not try to argue just to argue. Everyone's seen a lot of the clips from academics and you and your debate. First off, there's been a lot of feedback, a lot of people reacting to it, a lot of people basically proclaiming ACT as having a really great moment. What do you think that people missed when it came to that debate? And then I will get into it afterwards.
Yeah, it was miscaptioned. I didn't say words don't have meaning. I said slurs change, and that word has changed its meaning. And so it only has as much power. Slurs like that only have the power that you give it. And so we shouldn't give energy to clear rage baiters the same way Muslims, we shouldn't give energy to people like Jake Lang. If you're a paid agitator, don't give them what they want. Rage baiters are only rage baiters if you get enraged. So it's better to ignore them.
Yeah. So just a couple of things, right? They gave the example. I think he did touch on something that was very real because he spoke about the fact that you thought it was amusing in some points, what some of the aspects were he was doing, but you kind of said you condemn it, but that you did find some aspects amusing. And then he pointed out to some of the examples in regards to, making a mockery of God in some contexts or going to a mosque and then antagonizing people there. And then you said you didn't feel like it was funny. And then you also mentioned the fact that comparing God to a person doesn't make any sense. But I think his point to me, go ahead.
But also I do think it could be funny. Like I've been heckled while praying. When we were in Times Square doing the Ramadan prayer, people came up and were yelling like Christ is king. And when people come up and put bacon on themselves and try to antagonize Muslims, I think that's funny. It's supposed to be provocative and it's rage bait. Or when guys like that come outside of Mom Donnie's office here in New York, trying to sacrifice a pig, I think that's funny. I just was watching Tommy Robinson's protest, and some guy came on stage playing a violin, and he put 2 strips of bacon on him specifically to disrespect Muslims. I think that's funny. It's stupid, but it's funny because it's dumb. Doesn't mean I am encouraging it. You could find things funny or amusing, doesn't mean that you're condoning it.
That doesn't make sense. Because it's funny to you. That's you. That's you. It's funny to you. You can't put that on everybody else.
Sure. Taking yourself out of it, do you feel like most Muslims would find that very insulting? Because I remember you at the time when he gave the mosque example, you didn't find it funny, right? So, and my experience is most Muslims would not find that funny or amusing and find it incredibly disrespectful. And I know you brought up the whole Jake Lang thing, but like I told you, I'm pretty confident he has been attacked a few times already. He's had his Quran snatched when he tried to burn it before. So people have definitely gone after him for his behavior. Clearly, they didn't just say it's just words or just symbols. They took it to heart and they felt disrespected by his actions.
But we should ignore these people. We shouldn't give them what they want because what he wants to do is say...
You keep saying we should. In a perfect fucking world, yes, we should. They know... Oh, my God. You may feel the way you feel. That's a you. That's you. That doesn't mean everybody's going to feel that way. Oh, my God. That's the problem with this freaking generation right now. Is what everybody is on. I feel this. I feel like I'm a woman. I feel like this should be right. I feel. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter on what you feel.
Look, I don't have free speech in America. I'm a white Christian, even though he's a Jewish Zionist and he's LARPing as a white supremacist. If he's looking for a reaction to then go blame Muslims and say that there's no free speech, you can't give him what he wants. So it can be offensive, but the best course of action is to ignore these people.
I don't disagree that ideally if somebody's doing something nonviolent, that you respond with violence. But I also think there's not a place on this planet where that is a universal standard.
You shouldn't give power away to other people, especially if those people are against us. You can't have
shouldn't give power
with emotional. You shouldn't let people have emotional control over you that way.
Sure.
It's taking away your power.
But even that, okay, let me ask you, if you're traveling with your mom or your kid and someone goes up to them and starts calling them all kinds of crazy names, are you not going to get emotional? Yes, you will. Everyone would.
Right. But the point, you try to diffuse the situation and not drag your family into something they should be dragged into.
Sure.
You're going to try to diffuse the situation. But my point, you have the one thing we have ultimate control over is your emotion and how you feel. Is that disrespectful? Am I going to get upset? Yeah, it's your responsibility to not allow somebody to try to rage bait you. Am I going to try to diffuse it? Yes. Am I going to go out and encourage violence and put money on his head? I think that's a waste of energy.
Yes, in the perfect world, but 9 times out of 10, you probably won't get that reaction. He didn't get that reaction. Most of the people that I seen that was attacking him was either white or this last person. I mean, like I seen the little white girl that he pepper sprayed that attacked him. I seen the white guy that was in the bar that he said he threw a cup at him or whatever, threw something at him. That person attacked him. I seen what was it? Another white girl that flipped off his freaking hat. I seen the white kid that stole his hat. Shit, that's about it. I don't know, but either way, like, come on, man. I don't know.
I think I agree with the point that you shouldn't try to give, but the reality is that we do. The reality that we do. And because that's a reality, you can't say these words don't have meaning. There's nobody on this planet who's going to sit here while their child or their mom is berated right in front of them. You're going to get emotional. You're going to have some urge to protect. Why? Because even though you can say to them, guys, words don't have meaning. You look at your kid. Go look at your mom or whatever, whoever it was. Words don't let them control you. They're going to get upset and you're going to get defensive. You can't just do this whole stoic thing where we pretend like this is going to be a standard for everyone and not recognize that words are going to impact us. It will.
Exactly.
Right, but I don't want it to submit to weakness. So you're agreeing, you're saying.
Oh my God, right? But I don't want, nobody cares about what the fuck you want. It don't matter about what you want. That's you. But oh my God.
That we should not let this control us. So that's the point. That's what I want to hear talking heads talk about. When I see rappers talk about this, rather than encouraging violence, they should say, hey, ignore this person. Don't let them control you.
Sure.
Don't let them win.
Sure.
So although we do get emotional over these things, we need to advocate.
I don't know what he's talking about. I've seen plenty of people saying, don't let them win. Don't let him control you. Don't let it. There's plenty of people saying that shit. It doesn't. Oh my God, man. I don't know what he's talking about.
Towards a society that's not violent. If you say we live in a violent society, I don't know if that's completely true, but why play into that? Why not try to fight for something better?
Also, let's be clear. He's done this to a lot of people, and a lot of people have walked away. A lot of people have been like ignoring him.
Thank you.
Response.
Which is the correct response, sure. But you also have to understand, he is pushing them to that point by looking for everybody. And if you do that enough, you're going to land on the wrong one. Most black people have stayed away from him and been nonviolent. That's the reality. But yeah, he's somebody who was violent.
That's literally the fucking reality. Most of us don't pay no attention to it. Most of us do walk away. I've seen plenty of people sit here and ask him, please do not do that right in front of me. Do not say that. Please go somewhere else. Please move around. Please whatever. And this dude would sit there and antagonize the shit out of people, man. Fuck all that.
Interaction. He was hoping for it. He's hoping to kill somebody. And he fucked around and he definitely did find out. And I'm glad that somebody like that is in jail. I want those people off the streets. Because at the end of the day, the world is not just safe because someone doesn't attack you. It's also safe because someone doesn't verbally go after you all the time for no reason. You know, I don't want my kid to walk around and then just be called slurs for existing. Some guy can run a kick account. Fuck that. I don't want somebody to go up to my kid, let's say if they're Muslim, and they're wrapping bacon around their face to try to antagonize them. I don't want that to happen to my mom or nobody else. I can look at them and say, get over it. But I'd rather live in a world where we go after these people who continues to try to monetize and go after folks and harass them.
That's what I'm saying. You want to go after the person that's sitting here asking the person to stop instead of going after the people that's really doing the fucking evil, doing the fucking shit. Y'all want to sit there and jump on board. Like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all? Y'all want to jump on board with this dude other than getting this motherfucker out of here to stop terrorizing people. Y'all want to fucking roll with the terrorist instead of, man, come on, man.
In most places in the world, and people have a long history of pain from the past. You brought up Japan in your second debate. If you go to Japan, you have to understand that most of their society has been built after World War II based off of their experience, their constitution, their pacifist attitude with the military. If you go to Korea, they still have deep wounds when it comes to what Japan did to them. To this day, these countries don't get along because of a past incident. And they have they have statutes everywhere for comfort women. If you go and disrespect the comfort women, they'll put you in jail. They will go after you for going out and then hurting their symbols and their longing pain. So this idea that because things happen in the past, everyone get over it. People are still holding on to pain,
which is crazy,
and history much further back than what slavery, Jim Crow, segregation. Like you're talking about segregation, I think 1963? And the legacy after that is still ongoing. But let's say that's the endpoint you want to choose. That's more recent than a lot of these other foreign countries that you referenced. And yet these people are still affected by those past events.
Right.
And they have grown. They don't victimize themselves.
The fuck you mean they have grown?
Move forward. That's the point. Is that although there's hurt and things can trigger.
How about they don't have somebody walking around antagonizing them? They don't have somebody disrespecting them every fucking day. Like, come on, man. That's bullshit.
Generational trauma and this stuff. Allowing it to hold you back and living in a victim mentality, that's not the way that I think people should live. I don't think it's right to exist in that way. You got to find a way forward. So they've moved forward, and I think especially the Jewish people, they faced persecution from the Europeans in the 30s and 40s, but look how quickly they've grown one of the most powerful empires in the world with Israel.
Yeah, but you cannot state that they forgot. You cannot state that it's in the past. Yeah, they've grown, they did their thing. Two things can coexist. So they can be like, hey, you know what? We did so many great things, but you cannot claim that everything is in the past and we should. Some would say that they actually victimize themselves about that because they always bring it up.
They do. 100%.
So
what are you talking about?
You can't be like, oh yeah, you have to move past that. You put in your example of the Jewish people, they do exactly what you're saying they're not doing.
Yeah.
To censor people, and they say never forget, and they harp on that forever, and a lot of people get canceled that way.
Well,
but it's smarter. The analogy I'm making is that the black community could maybe learn from the Jewish community and say, instead of living in a victim mentality, how can we find a way to empower? What is the real struggle that's happening
You
right now?
just said that
today?
You just said that they do play victim. So what example are we going to do?
Exactly.
What example
They
are we
play
going to
victim in a different. They don't identify the same way that black people. You won't see people in the Jewish community lash out when they hear attacks like that, and then.
Where have you been?
Hold on. But you got censored literally because they lashed out about what you were doing with the.
That's the difference.
I literally got censored not too long ago. Because I said that I ain't even going to say it. But I got censored just for saying Jews. And they tried to block me off of X. And man, come on, man. This
They will work with legislation. I just got banned from Australia. They work as a power unit, and they use that to.
You got banned from a whole.
People instead of.
But that's not a
You not
difference.
understand the difference?
Yeah, your difference isn't the root cause. Your difference is in how they react. But their reaction is still one of a group of people who hold on to the past and understand its legacy still.
They
lives
just
today.
got more
You're just saying
power.
They have more institutional power.
Yeah.
You're saying that they can affect more change. Yeah. Okay. But that's not a reference to them not being quote unquote victims. Even though I don't even believe in that narrative. But let's say that is the one that you're going with. They're not being the victims in your world. They just have more power to handle their issues when they are victimized.
But you're also denying. But you're also, when you're saying that, you're also denying everything that the black people try to do, like the Black Wall Street, all the cities that the black people had to in America tried to have. They try to band together. Oh, these people don't want to have anything to do with us. Let's just.
Not even that, man. All the leaders that we had, all the idols, the shit that we could have looked up to, the Black Panthers, the MLK, freaking. I mean, regardless, like, they've killed all of them. Like, if we had the Black Panthers today, we wouldn't have no gangsters or thugs running around this motherfucker. They was bringing structure to our communities, and y'all took them out and wiped them out. So,
and together and do our thing. What happened? The government bombed them. So it's not like they didn't try to do what the Jewish people did.
The government bombed Black Wall Street.
Well, not Black Wall Street, but Tulsa. They bombed other places in the other.
Man, there's so many cities. I mean, we had towns in multiple places of New York, and just that fucking park that they have in fucking New York used to be a town. That was a whole town there, a black town that they destroyed just to put that park there. There's plenty of places around the United States that they've wiped out black communities just to put lakes and parks and all time. Man, come on, man.
No, you know what's really weird is when white people try to get on this app and pretend that every time a successful black community has been started, white people didn't jump in and destroy it. Don't believe me? We have multiple examples. Let's start off with Lake Lanier. Lake Lanier looks beautiful, doesn't it? It was a wonderful black community until it got too successful. And then white people ran the black people out of their community, dammed up a river, and flooded their town. But there's more. What about Greenwood? You know, Black Wall Street. Black Wall Street was in Tulsa, Oklahoma. It was incredibly successful. But then there was a claim that a black man hurt a white woman. Fucking white women. And so a whole bunch of white men came into the town and set it ablaze, killing over 300 people. It was an incredibly successful town, set ablaze by white people, because God forbid black people have a successful town. There's another one, Rosewood, Florida. There's not even a town left. White people are that weak. They were successful. They claim in their history, in white people history, that they killed 6 people. It was closer to 200. 200 people that they massacred.
Other places that black people had. So it's not like black people didn't try to band together. They got bombed. They got erased. Multiple time in the history of America. You could look up New Orleans and Memphis massacre. That was in 1866. There's the Red Summer of 1917 and 1919. There's the Tulsa Race massacre that I spoke to you about. That was 1921. There's a Rose Road massacre. So there's a bunch of massacres and towns that we try to do. So we try to do what you said that we were supposed to do, like the Jews, but we got expelled multiple times.
Multiple times.
So you can't really like say, do like them. Why don't we do like them? The thing is that it feels like you think it's really just about a word. And that's what academics was trying to tell you. It's broader than that, right? It's the disrespect. You, when he said that you were obtuse, that's what he meant. You're very rigid in what's going on. You think it's just the word. It's the disrespect.
When you talk about institutional power, they may not have as much, but they have influenced change.
I mean, it's the disrespect, but they don't give a fuck about disrespecting us. They don't give no fuck about disrespecting us, and they don't care.
You know, whether it was getting rid of redlining or other policies in place that did negatively impact them post-segregation. So there's been a lot of things that they've done to influence that, and also a lot of people have taken great care to move themselves up from an economic standpoint as well. If you look at all the charters, black folks today are doing substantially better than they were in the past. So this whole narrative that they're just essentially just victims is not true. They've done quite a lot for themselves to empower.
I'm not saying just victims, but there's a strong victim mentality within black culture. Can you agree?
There's a strong victim mentality within black culture. What does that mean? That's just a term. Like, what does that mean when you say victim? Because you defined earlier the Jews as victim mentality, but then you said kind of not really. So, like, I don't know what you mean.
Right, but they found a better. I also think that they hold on to a victim mentality. They've grown more. So the comparison is, how can you grow out of that? They use it. They weaponize that victim culture. I think black culture.
Hold on. First of all, they are white, so which allowed them to get into different systems to where they can grow in that way. You know what I'm saying? They done took over banks and all types of shit in the Americas to where they control the media, they control all the banks. Shit, come on, man.
It's weaponized not in a way that's uplifting and empowering, when it could be a lot stronger, especially when you're saying they got rid of redlining and the socioeconomic problems don't exist in the same way.
They didn't get rid of redlining.
There's got to be more growth.
You're comparing them also to a group of people who had a completely different history and different entry into the marketplace. You're talking about people who had settled generations in different countries where they're able to accumulate wealth versus a group of people who exited segregation in 1963. They're not comparable. That's one. But another aspect is, like, even when you say victim mentality, is
not even to mention they've gotten reparations. They've gotten reparations. We didn't. They've gotten all types. What? There's $200-some billion for, man. Come on, man.
Because they get offended by the idea that you might say the N-word, that they get offended by certain symbols when they're portrayed. Like, why do you say victim mentality? Is it because of those things?
Well, how is black culture defined?
How is black culture defined? Probably by the experience. So it's probably by the experience of the descendants of slaves in USA. So post and everything that comes with.
First of all, America is black culture. I don't care what nobody say. America is black culture. When anybody thinks of American culture, they think of the music. The music was made by black people. Rock and roll, jazz, blues, fucking country, fucking hip hop, fucking, I mean, come on now. We made the American culture that is here.
That would be the food, the linguistics, the music, the art, the history. So there's a lot of ways, but there's different things that you would put into that.
I think a good comparison, I think even it was brought up, the difference between like Palestinian culture. There's a genocide going on, but when you ask to define Palestinian culture, you don't define it based off of hardship. It's defined based off of their weddings, off of their ceremonies, off of the successful Palestinians, part of the diaspora. I don't think it should be defined based off of trauma. Defining it based off
Whoa,
of slavery.
whoa.
That's crazy.
I disagree. I disagree so much. Palestinians are definitely defined by their history, by what they're going through right now, and they will be defined by that for generations to come. When people talk about relocating Palestinians, they talk about the mental health aspect and how they're going to have to fix the ongoing issues that are going to be there for generations. They may not be defined by it right now, but I can promise you everyone who's living in Palestine is defined in large part by this.
Hello, Abba.
Doesn't mean that's all of them. And you can't look at black folks and say that's all of them either. There's a lot more to them than just slavery. No one would ever say black culture is just slavery.
Well, that's how you just defined it. That's why I'm.
No, that's not what I defined. I talked about linguistics. I talked about cuisine. I talked about music. I talked about history. I talked about many things. And the same thing for Palestinians. What they're experiencing right now for generations, they're going to look back on this time period and talk about how it has affected them. So you can't just tell a Palestinian 15 years from now, let's say if Gaza was free today, 15 years from now, they're still going to feel the reverberations of that. The reason why it bothers me is that there's no place on this planet that I've ever been to that don't have a particular sensitive point about something in their history. Whether it's like, here's another, if you go to China, they'll talk about how rude and ill-mannered Chinese people are. Right? You'll see these rich people in nice cars and they just spit on the ground or whatever. And people are very judgmental about their manners, justifiably so. It's very nasty. But people don't recognize the reason why is because they came out of economic hardship. They went from poor to rich very quickly, and so the people never had that to adapt their society. So they still have that legacy of poverty in their manners and everything today. If you go to insult them for that reason, or if you bring these kinds of things up, if you go to Korea and talk about the comfort women, everyone's got, if you go to Eastern Europe, place that used to be part of the USSR and have been freed from the shadow of the Soviet Empire, they still have sensibilities about that. You said there's no words? Bro, go to Romania and call people gypsies everywhere. See what happens.
Yeah.
See what happens. Every place has got their words.
He looked like a little kid.
But you shouldn't give them attention. That's the point. If someone's going around screaming themselves in Romania saying gypsy, gypsy, the correct response would be don't give this.
It don't matter what you shouldn't do or should do. Everybody's the same. 9 times out of 10, you're going to run into that motherfucker that's going to be like, nigga, please. Man, come on, man.
Person attention.
No, they're going to get fucked up.
No, but,
Thank you.
Yeah, you shouldn't, but that's not what's going to happen. That's not how reality is. You said there is not one word in the world that is like the N-word. That is not true.
In the English language, it's the strongest word. It's the word where so many people expect if you say this word, even if you say the soft A, people respond, this person should get beat up. This person should, that's not the correct response.
That's not true either.
Right, I'm not saying that is the correct response or not. I'm reacting.
That's not even true. There's plenty of people that are okay with people saying the A. He wouldn't have been, everybody wouldn't have gotten so, people are respected in the hood for saying the A. He wouldn't have got so much hate if he was saying the A. That's all I got to say.
What you said that in the world, there is not a word like that. That is not true.
Some people might act violently. Hopefully there's not like a nationwide upset, and they're not all going to say somebody should go.
We agree. We agree it's the correct response. But I'm trying to tell you what you're expecting of black people isn't expected of people anywhere. If you go to Ireland and you go say some certain words.
Pointed out the guy with Jake Lang is a perfect example.
Jake Lang got attacked. He got attacked by Muslims.
Mm-hmm. That shouldn't happen, and we condemn that. And then the overall
but it should happen. Doesn't matter.
Somebody like this,
exactly. No, but you also said it did not happen. We just told you it did. You have to acknowledge that. Like you said, he didn't get attacked. He did. So what you're saying is not true.
Yeah, Jake Lang.
That one in New York was strange. That one was.
I don't care if it was strange or not, bro. Exactly. I don't care. He got attacked. You said he didn't get attacked. He got attacked.
The point is, we should not encourage that. The difference is,
nobody's encouraging.
I did not see the same response. Look, what I wanted to see more of is people within the black community saying somebody should not go out and seek out violence. I didn't see that response. I didn't see that as an effort. In fact, a lot of people were encouraged.
Why does that matter? He was seeking out violence. He was seeking out violence. He was hoping one of us would stick or do something to him so he could shoot us. That's seeking out violence, literally.
Encouraging things to happen. That's the opposite thing that happened with Jake Lang. Every Muslim apologist, any public Muslim would say, don't give this guy attention. Don't give him exactly what he wants.
Chud the Builder was seeking out violence.
When it goes to the black community, if you want to make that comparison, I didn't see anybody say that.
Great example. So many people in the Muslim world celebrated when they got assassinated for the cartoons. You can feel how you want. The reality is they drew something and everyone condemned the but in the Muslim world, that was not the case. In fact, in France itself, they celebrated like crazy, the Muslims did. That was their choice.
Talk about Charlie Hebdo?
Yes. I feel like you're not saying on the point I'm saying on. I'm saying that when you approach this, you pretend like black folks are singular. You say it's the only word in the English language. That's not the case. If you go to Ireland, different parts of the UK, that's not the case. In the world, if you go to different countries, they got their sensitive spot on older history than black folks. And yet, there's a standard for black people is just like, get over it, considering their dark history, considering how recent it was. I just don't think that's fair. I don't think that's fair. I don't think that's equal. And I also think when you say things like, oh, you know, God is different. Like, this is what you're saying. You were saying...
Yes, these things are sacred. Blasphemy is different than skin color. Skin
shut
color
the fuck
is not
up.
something that should be considered sacred.
Well, you're talking to academics, and you guys were having the debate in regards to words and their meaning, and that we can change the words. You won't get rage baited, that words can be evolved. And I think you were referring to also slurs to some degree. Is that fair?
It don't even matter. If we change the words, use the word that we changed it to as respect. Don't go around disrespecting us. Y'all just don't give a fuck about disrespecting somebody. That's the whole point.
Right, like that word itself has been changed so much. When black people say it, it was also a slavery term. It comes from the same exact place.
Right.
It had the same meaning, but now it's the most popular used word in hip hop.
Fair.
So even if people say the soft A, people are singing along to a song.
Nah.
White people are expected to go, they do the shush finger over their face. They're not even supposed to sing along.
But we fuck
even
with
though
them
it's
with
not
that,
a
man.
harmful word in that context.
Nobody really
I
give
want
a
to
fuck.
just touch on the one point you're saying right now, which is like...
we got plenty of homies that are white that says the N word, the A word. You know what I'm saying? We got plenty of white friends that say the A word. We don't give a fuck about the A word. We don't care. If you respecting us, we don't give a fuck about it. But it's all out of respect. You need to respect it. Respect it. Then we won't fucking flip.
You know, the word, you can repurpose it. It can mean nothing if you want it to mean nothing. Yes?
Yeah, that word has changed its meaning.
Right, and you're saying we can change it, like, don't get offended by it. It's not offensive unless you make it offensive.
If you give it more oxygen, it has more power. Now, after this example, after this Chud the Builder situation, this amplifies it. Now it has more power. And I also saw more streamers are coming out and doing the exact same thing now.
Yeah.
I saw people are putting on blackface. Now, when you make something more taboo, you have the Streisand effect, where celebrities, when they want to cover something
Shut
up,
the fuck
they
up.
pay their publicists to try to remove it from the internet.
Dude,
What
man.
happens is people become...
This dude pisses me off, man. I just be wanting to. This dude be pissing me off, bro. I hate this motherfucker.
become more interested in it. People are more drawn to it.
Everyone's got their things that are taboo that you don't touch on, and they don't want, and they will have problems with you, whether physical or jail time. So why are you looking at black folks like they're supposed to be different? That's what I don't understand.
Well, and in America, what's a word where you could expect that sort of reaction from any other group of people?
I mean, the word is just a symbol. You could burn a flag and people might attack you.
Yeah.
That happens all the time.
Yeah.
There's 2 points that I want to make. One is that you can choose to feel emotions about these words. And I think we both agree that you should not act violently when you hear this word. It's a waste of your energy. The second one, I think currently in the black community, the main issues that should be addressed that aren't and that seem to be avoided is it's not somebody like Chud the Builder isn't out there oppressing black people. Is it harmful and disrespectful? Absolutely. Is this guy, is he a rage bait? Is he a racist? Absolutely. Is he changing the rights? Is he affecting the black? Is this the number one problem? No. Black on black crime. This is being promoted in hip hop.
Oh my God.
Told as part of black culture.
First off, it is not being promoted. Nobody's saying go and kill a black dude, go kill a black brother, go kill. No, they talk about ops. They talk about they motherfucking whoever they got something against it with, and it's because they're in their community. Black on black crime is not a fucking thing. That's not a fucking thing. I don't even know why people keep saying this shit. Like, white people kill white people. Black people kill black people. This is people in their societies. It's just how it is. Chinese people kill Chinese people. It's because they're in that society of people. You know what I'm saying? Oh my fucking God, man.
Black on black crime is not a thing, bro.
Thank you.
Now we're gonna veer off onto
black on black crime is not a thing.
No.
Yeah, but every race.
Thank you. No cap. fuck that shit. Fuck you, me. Thank you. I was hoping they was gonna say that shit. Thank you. Hold on, y'all. Let me go back.
Problem? No. Black on black crime. This is being promoted in hip hop. What is told as part of black culture, what we hear from
Black on black crime is not a thing, bro.
Thank you.
We're now going to veer off onto
Black on black crime is not a thing?
No.
No.
Yeah, but every race commits crime against their own race.
Thank you.
Yeah, the difference is white on white crime is war. White on white crime is you.
No. In America, white on white crime exists. It's white people being in proximity of white people and killing white people.
Thank you.
If you have people robbing white people in crack towns that are white, they're gonna kill white people. We don't call it white on white crime, but it does happen.
So Preach said black on black crime isn't a thing.
Well, because you guys talk about it. You guys talk about it like it's a special phenomenon. But every race kills and attacks their own. No,
it is.
It's not.
Like
it's
black
not.
on black crime is celebrated as hip hop.
It's not celebrated in no fucking hip hop.
Anything that comes from Chicago, New York, hip hop is promoting black on black crime directly, and Preach said it's not real.
This idea that it's a phenomenon that's special. The stats don't bear it out. Every race goes and attacks their own race at the highest levels. That's it.
Right, but I'm saying
so the biggest offenders against Asians are other Asians. The same thing for whites.
But Asians don't celebrate it. Black people in hip hop do, and I think that's a much bigger issue to focus on than one racist.
Nobody's here doing a campaign promise about Chud the Builder. It just happened recently, so people are talking about it. Pretending like people have been campaigning on this guy forever is not the case. Now, with Chud the Builder, he might be an individual. He might not be systemic. What he is doing is he's hearkening back to that, and he's trying to go and pain people. That's what he's doing. So that's why folks are paying attention. No one has sat here and said Chud the Builder is the #1 issue in America.
Thank you.
Right, but if people are encouraging others, and I saw this from rappers, NLE Choppa, academics said somebody should martyr themselves, and they don't even know who the martyr's name is. This guy got shot, and I said that this should not happen. Somebody got killed, and then they celebrate when the guy goes to jail.
We agree.
What about the guy that was shot?
Nobody's saying that motherfucker
just said black on black crime is. I'm saying that this is an issue that should take up more energy. This is causing more harm.
Okay, but more violence. But that's like a adjacent topic, but not the one that we're focused on. Okay, if you want to have a different discussion, different day about hip hop and whatever else, that's fine.
Well, I mean, Preach just said that. He just said black on black.
It does not. It's not because it's not celebrated in other places that it does not exist, and because it's this phenomenon that everybody experience, and we only talk about black on black. It does not exist. Like people within the proximity of their own race kill more of their own race.
Yeah.
So people. The way that you talk about it is the way that you talk about it is like only black people do it. We don't.
Yeah.
White people kill. White people kill more.
I'm saying blacks. It's the only culture that celebrates it. That's what about
we don't celebrate
on ops, smoking on deads.
That's
smoking ops,
which means opposition.
Oh my fucking God. That's smoking your ops. That's smoking their enemies, regardless of what the fuck it is. Oh my God, that's stupid. That's stupid.
Not saying go target black people.
Thank you. That's not saying go target black people.
When people bring this up, it's like there's an issue. These people are targeting each other and they're trying to kill. No, they're committing crimes against people who are close to them. 1, 2. You can look at plenty of white media that celebrates violence, whether it be movies, whether it be action stuff. These are things that celebrate violence, and that these are depictions of white people committing violence. That is something that we go pay money for if we find entertaining. Are we saying that this is now contributing to white on white violence? No. If you want to have a discussion about how drill may be influencing certain aspects of violence, that's fine. But nothing about it is necessarily racial. It just so happens that's like going to Asia, and because they have some music over there that celebrates violence, that it's promoting Asian on Asian violence. No, it's just.
What about all the fucking karate movies and shit? That's violence. That's celebrating violence. They've whooping each other's ass, cutting off each other. I mean, come on, man. That's bullshit.
Promoting violence.
21 Savage has a song called My Choppa Hates Niggas. And if you look at people who
Oh my God. Here we go. My Choppa hates niggas. You can't blame one person making a dumbass song about. Oh my God. That's just one person. Anyway, how many songs have you heard saying my chopper hates niggas? Like, come on, man, that's stupid.
part of other gangs and people who are on the op block, is it whites that they're talking about?
Hold on, Sneako. So when you do arts that testifies the killing of your people, that's celebration. So black people do it, right? That means that Scarface is Cuban on Cuban Cuban on Cuban killings. So that means that the Godfather and all the movies like that are Italian on Italian crime. So that means that when I was watching Sons of Anarchy, there's just white people killing white people, so that's white on white crime celebration. No, it happens in different sectors, and it's
not popularized the same way.
What?
It's not popularized.
They made a whole fucking show on it. Multiple shows. Oh my God, come on, man.
Same way, it's still what it is.
It's iconic. It's iconic.
Goodfellas is a big ass movie, one of the biggest movies
Sopranos.
ever. Sopranos was a big, huge thing. Don't say that it's only black people that do it.
My God.
Because throughout history, before there was hip hop, all those gangster movies, all those things were there before we were there.
What's the most popular form of music in America right now?
Hip hop.
It don't fucking matter.
Okay, so you're talking about Goodfellas. Let's talk about right now. That's the point. What is celebrated the most right now?
No, now see, you're moving. You're always moving.
Current topics.
Dude, you're always.
First off, that stupid shit, fucking drill music and all that shit, that is not the most celebrated music in the Americas. That is not the most celebrated music in the black community, period. Those is just fucking the gangsters. I mean, that's gangster music. That's why it's called gangster music. And not all fucking black people are gangsters. Not all niggas is gangsters.
You're always moving the goalpost.
Moving that
No,
bitch.
I'm not. I'm saying let's focus on
Shuffling.
the most important issues that are happening right now.
Let's say I concede to you, okay? We might disagree on this, but let's say I concede to you. We can talk about all these things. You're acting like people don't talk about hip hop and issues with it. The people have been talking about it since I've been a kid. So that's always been a point of discussion. Nothing is precluding us from talking about Chud the Builder.
The bodybuilder.
and Chud the Builder also speaks to a set of issues in regards to how racism today is becoming more overt, that people are just telling black folks to get. I think it's okay to look at that and say people getting financed to do this kind of stuff is also, there's plenty of things to look at this. So we can just focus on that, but we don't have to do this thing where it's like, why you got?
Not to mention that there's people that are promoting that shit are white people. There's more white people listening to hip hop than black people, or that shit wouldn't be as big as it fucking is. Not to mention the people that are putting this shit out is the white people. Who do you think is on top? Fucking Lucian. Fucking he's white. Man, come on, man. All the fucking please. That was a system that they put together to destroy our communities. What are you talking about?
I saw you on Bill Maher, and you was talking about the record industry, and you said that the record industry uses social engineering in rap to encourage criminal behavior. At what point did you realize that?
Oh man, after I got mature in the game, after I knew that records were made by committee. Mm-hmm. A lot of albums, a lot of dope songs people like are made by a group of people telling rappers what to say, or what's dope, or that line ain't good enough, or let's change it to this. Get somebody up here that can write, and all this kind of hip hop by committee. And yeah, the record companies, it be they people in there. I've never had an A&R. I've never had a record company guy tell me shit about my music, about how to make it. Mm-hmm. Some of it they liked, some of it they didn't, some of it they raised their eyebrow to, but that's what I turned in, that's what they had to accept. And, that's hip hop to me.
Let's talk about this. Why don't we talk about, we can do that about anything. I mean, you could start talking about hip hop and then someone could say, why don't we talk about Israel? Why don't we talk about this? You'd always do that. Let's just focus on this topic. If it's dragging on for years, I'll concede to you. If it drags on for a long time, sure. But it's only been, like a week since this guy's 2 weeks?
I think it's dragged on more than it should have. I think that proves my point. Giving this so much oxygen, this becoming a major
2 weeks is not that
phenomenon
much oxygen. It's not that much.
Yeah, it's a major media phenomenon. Just the fact that we're having this convo, and I'm not seeing any pushback on the people that encourage violence. I haven't seen any people call out those that said somebody should martyr themselves. People that put money on his head.
Because we live in a violent society. We live in a violent society where...
First of all, motherfuckers is putting money on his head because he's trying to kill us. Talking about if somebody does something, he's gonna shoot him. Fucking the next things that was gonna happen was a dead black person on the ground and us fucking protesting from him getting. I mean, come on, man, you're dumb.
even at the top, from the president down, people are constantly egging on violence. So right now, we definitely live in a culture in general where if you get shot or you get beat up, doesn't matter what, the other eye of the political spectrum is going to look at you and be like, I don't really care, or they're going to celebrate it. That's a bad thing. And you could talk about how violence has been normalized, especially with this administration, how they speak, but even before that. That's the thing. We could talk about that. But that is still separate from the idea that people should get over it because the words have meaning, slurs have meaning.
We shouldn't give power away to other people, especially if those people are against us.
Shut the fuck up, man.
Even in Islam, there's so many things that talk about the importance.
Shouldn't give power, but we also shouldn't let motherfuckers disrespect us, like walk all over us. Who the fuck you think you is, man?
Of words and not ushering the things, not insulting people, understanding that that's incredibly wicked behavior. And most of the Muslim countries I've ever been to would never tolerate much of this behavior about things that they hold dear to them.
For real.
Or their royalty or whatever it could be or anything else.
First off, remember that fucking dude, I forgot his fucking name. The fucking asshole that was going into fucking China or Japan, one of them fucking places, and he was just being ultra disrespectful. How many Chinese people punched that nigga in the fucking face? How many of them tried to whoop his ass? Come on, man. Don't even bring that shit. Man.
In fact, most of the restrictive laws about speech exist in these countries. So if you go and you try to
blasphemy, I'm
not even blasphemy, not blasphemy. If you go even to like Dubai, for example, and you speak the way that you speak about a lot of the country, they'll take you to court and they will win. They will.
What are you talking about?
Like their defamation laws, they're like insulting, their disparaging laws. Like they have laws on the books where they will put you in jail just for speaking about somebody in a negative light publicly. So you have to
filming the missiles coming in from Iran, right? They weren't even supposed to document this. They don't want to show the destruction happening in Dubai.
Right. So just from like even a Muslim religious standpoint, I'm just trying to say like the idea that
that's not Sharia. That's UAE laws on Sharia. That's a separate.
Yeah, but I'm speaking about the culture in regards to how the Muslims enforce their laws and how they feel about words and insulting people. That's what I think I'm trying to get at. So if it's not a thing in the Muslim world, if it's not a thing in most of the world where you can just go around disrespecting people openly, if it's not a thing in all these places, you have to understand America is a bit unique in that regard, and they even have their limits. Mm-hmm. So, just something to consider about. But
they don't give a fuck about us, though.
Nope. And overall, there's got to be more fixation. There's got to be more focus on what's being promoted. Like, what is Black culture defined by, and what are the problems, and how do we uplift? How do we empower people?
Whatever. Man, fuck all that, man. All right, that was it for us today, man. Aber and Preach, giving it to him, man. Let me know what y'all think of that shit in the comments. Like and subscribe. Fuck with your boy. Let's go.
Hype me up, I've been down too long. Now I'm back and I'm feeling too strong. No cap reactions, yeah, the whole crew on. When I drop, everybody sing along. Baby up, let the whole world know.